This is the Touchstone Pistachio Company's Spring and Bloom 2022 market update. In this market update, we will look at the 2022 crop outlook, including bloom notations, bearing acres, and global supply, as well as the total export shipments, top 5 export countries, and the United States. Finally, we will share our views on market trends, current and new crop market activity and pricing. Lastly, we will review the latest syndicated data from the U.S. domestic market. This time of year brings much excitement in the pistachio industry as we plan for the remainder of the crop year and look towards new crop. While we are post-bloom, it's too early to have a definitive estimate of the 2022 crop. The early indicators for chilling hours and precipitation are at or above average for the main growing regions. Overall, the bloom was even among orchards, and while the Golden Hill variety looks good, the Kerman variety looks a bit spotty. With the new acres coming into bearing, total bearing acres should be at or above 440,000. We estimate the 2022 crop will be between 1.1 to 1.3 billion pounds. There are 3 key factors to consider when evaluating new crop. Can the orchards produce 3 record crops in a row? Will sizing be impacted again? Will closed shell yields be closer to average or remain low as they have for the past 2 years? We'll have a clearer view on new crop after the June-July field checks and nut fill analysis. This chart outlines pistachio production from the 3 top growing regions in the world. The 2020 crop was the last on crop for all 3 regions, with just over 1 million metric tons produced. 2021 was an off crop for both Turkey and Iran, and unexpectedly the largest crop in history for the US. Although 2022 is anticipated to be an on-crop for all 3 origins, production may vary by region. The winter frost in Iran appeared to have impacted the orchards, potentially affecting up to 50% of its production. In Turkey, with the new bearing acres coming into play, the crop has a potential to be well over 700 million pounds or 320,000 metric tons. We estimate global production for 2022 to be 965,000 metric tons or 2.13 billion pounds. The U.S. carryover into new crop has the potential to be at or above 400 million pounds. Factoring this in could put total supply over 1.1 million tons, 2.5 billion pounds. This slide reflects the year-to-date September to March export shipments by region. For comparison purposes, we will skip 2019 and will compare 2021 crop shipments with the last 2 on-crops of 2018 and 2020. After a strong start in September and October, followed by a lackluster winter, March was a welcome relief with strong shipments despite the constant supply chain challenges. Year-to-date, total export reached short of 334 million pounds, 9% more than last year, but 10% less than 2018. The industry could have shipped more if it weren't for the shipping delays. Asia, with 159 million pounds, is 11% more than last year and 19% less than 2018. Strong shipments to China, Vietnam, and India compensate for the steep decline of the Hong Kong market. With 4 million pounds, the strong shipments anticipated in the coming months, India is an active market which could come close to reaching their record 2018 shipments of 118 million pounds. Another strong performance of note is Japan, doubling its deliveries with 5 million pounds. Summer shipments are expected to be busy for Asia given the early Chinese New Year. Europe, with 106 million pounds, is exhibiting steady growth despite the shipping delays. Demand is steady and consumption is strong. EU spot availability is tight with firm prices. Germany, Spain, Italy, and France headline shipments, along with steady growth from the Eastern Bloc, particularly Poland with 4 million pounds, twice as much as last year, and the Czech Republic and Georgia, both reaching over 1 million pounds year to date. So far, the Ukrainian conflict hasn't had too much of an impact on the European deliveries. However, escalation of the conflict and the economic impact of ensuing inflation warrant concern in the coming months. In the Middle East, shipments reached over 40 million pounds, a 50% jump compared to last year and 11% less than 2018. Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Israel led the region. Shipments in the upcoming months are anticipated to remain steady considering the high activity from the Gulf countries in the past week. Oceania had a modest performance with 2.8 million pounds, 3% less than last year, also due to the shipping difficulties and to deliveries from different origins. Australia is up 6%, while New Zealand is down 10% from last year. In North America, deliveries of 22.3 million pounds year-to-date put shipments up 21% from last year and up 41% from 2018. Shipments into Canada remain flat versus last year at just over 13 million pounds year-to-date. A staggering increase in Mexico put shipments up 73% versus last year and 142% versus 2018. In South and Central America, shipments are down 11% versus last year, but are stronger than 2018 shipments by 13%, with key drivers being Chile, Colombia, and Brazil. While the industry seems committed for the second half of the season, the real question now is how much of these commitments will be able to ship. Unfortunately, supply chain issues are not expected to improve in the near term. Delays in California, congestion at transshipment ports, and a new wave of general rate increases make securing bookings and shipping extremely difficult. Additionally, in the summer, union contracts are set to renegotiate, which could lead to a West Coast port strike, further immobilizing the industry. The pistachio shipments in the U.S. continue to rise year over year, with current shipments up 10% versus last year and 18% versus 2018, where there has been significant growth in consumption in the past few years. Domestic transportation delays are ongoing, with rail congestion and rig availability being key drivers. China, Germany, Hong Kong, Spain, and Turkey are their top 5 export markets as of March. In China, the industry seems to have adapted to the new regulatory climate encouraging direct shipments to the mainland. With 119 million pounds, shipments are up 19% from last year and from 2018. We anticipate steady demand through the end of the season with the early Chinese New Year. In Hong Kong, the drastic 40% year-over-year decline in shipments since 2018 clearly confirms the shift towards the direct shipments to the mainland. The key factor for Hong Kong's traders will be the pricing of new crop, especially when the opening pricing model has failed the last few years. We expect Hong Kong traders to break from the restrictive opening price model and regain control of the market by taking early position for the 2022 harvest. Germany's strong performance at 40 million pounds year to date is 6% lower than last year, but 14% stronger than 2018. Following a strong consumption during the end of the year holidays and steady demand to replenish stocks, we expect strong shipments in the summer months. Spain, the second largest market in Europe, with 15 million pounds, is growing. 15% from last year and up 27% from 2018, we anticipate the demand to remain steady. Finally, heavy shipments to Turkey reached a record 13 million pounds, 6% more than 2018. With the lack of local product, Turkey is actively filling their processing facilities with U.S. origin, mainly closed shell, shelling stock, and off-grade kernels. We want to clarify that these price ranges heard in the industry of offers, indications, or business conducted in the past few weeks. Current crop prices have firmed up from $3.40 to $3.45 last month to $3.55, now to a firm $3.60 from this week, as demand from India and the Middle East look toward the U.S. due to the shortage of product from Iran. Many independents are comfortably sold and off the market, firming price even further. Some small volume of new crop has reportedly been done at a $3.40 to $3.50 FAS for early shipments. While the pistachio industry has been largely shielded from the drastic ups and downs we've seen in other commodities, it is no longer immune to the basic law of supply and demand. We recommend caution. Pricing may fluctuate both ways, depending on 2022 crop volume, carryover, global demand, and the endless shipping challenges. Nielsen data for the past 13 weeks through March 30th, 2022 is a positive showcase for pistachios. Pistachios saw an increase of 6% in sales and 5% in volume, leading the category behind peanuts. Both in-shell and kernels saw growth, with kernels consistently outpacing in-shell, despite half of the top 10 private label items ending the previous 13-week period with an increase in sales. Private label underperformed compared to the national brand, largely due to the heavy promotional activity during Q1. Kernel consumption continues to be a leading driver in this segment. Flavored kernels alone accounted for 13% of the total pistachio sales in the past 13 weeks. Value size in-shell items saw the largest increase in volume with double-digit growth this period. New sizes and flavors, consistent retail pricing, and aggressive promotional activity have allowed pistachios to be more accessible to consumers. We expect consumption to remain strong as we approach harvest and new crop pricing goes into effect. This concludes our market update. For any questions, comments, or inquiries, please reach out to your sales rep below. Our next market update will be released in the summer following the Nutville report.